What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have liked and sub, and let's get into this. Before we talk about this article from the lead quest designer for Starfield, we should probably talk about Starfield itself, which I'm going to wager a guess that a lot of you have not played. I actually played it all the way through twice. It was on Game Pass, and I didn't have the channel at the time, or at least it wasn't as busy as I was, so I had the time to do it. I liked it, but their mistakes were one, procedurally generated planets. That was never going to work. You needed lovingly tailored. Didn't matter if there's 100 planets if 98 of them suck and there's only two that are actually tailored. And exploration is meaningless when you know it's just some random buildings you're going to find, and only on two of them were there any sort of like actual tailored quest. The other ones are just completely random. They mean nothing, thus people don't do them. And then also, if they thought this was going to be another Skyrim, again, tailored planets, tailored quests, and they were just lackluster. Some of them hit, but a lot of them, no. And then, of course, being all spread out, it was bound to not be what they wanted. And it sounds like in this one, Starfield lead quest designer claiming a large portion of gamers are fatigued with 30 plus hour long games. Not when they're good. Not when they're good. So this seems like someone who's a little salty that people didn't play their game as much, all the content. And as someone who played it twice all the way through, it ain't worth playing twice all the way through because New Game Plus is sort of their whole game mechanic there at the end. So here is the lead quest designer, though, of said games talking about how we are all so fatigued with 30-hour plus games, even though some of the best games of all time have been over 100 hours. Hi, Witcher, looking at you. So here's Will Shin, who left Bethesda back in 2023, claiming, of course, that we're fatigued with long games. He said, now we're reaching a point where people are fatigued, or a large section or a growing section of the audience is becoming fatigued at investing 30 plus hours, 100 plus hours into a game because they already have that. They already have the games that they will continually come back to, and adding another one to the list is a tall order. Yeah, but if you do it, you've done it. That being said, that's fine. It's always a tall order. So we're seeing this resurgence of short games. And I don't know about you, but if a game that I'm paying full price for, especially a $60 game, that goddamn game better be 60 hours minimum of like primo elite, preem tune, you hear me? Elite gameplay. And I just don't think that's what we're getting from a lot of those ones that he's talking about. So we're seeing this resurgence of short games, on top of claiming that they already have games that they're willing to play. Shin noted that the reason he believes this fatigue has set in is due to the success of games like Skyrim and Fallout. So now we're just going to blame the success of almost 20 years ago games, for God's sake. Skyrim came out in 2011. We're in 2025. It's time to move on. Part of what happened was this success of games like Skyrim and Fallout 4, these really big titles that you can play pretty much forever. There's still a lot of people that play Skyrim even after all these years because of mods. And the idea of these evergreen games that you could just sink thousands of, but that's the thing, they're not evergreen. They're not evergreen. We're not going back and playing vanilla Skyrim and Vala and Fallout. The only reason they're being played is because they're modded to all hell, thus offering new experiences. New experiences you could offer in your game. Instead of modding Fallout 4 into a fucking space game, you could have just made Skyrim. You could have just made Starfield the Skyrim of space, which is what I think they wanted, but they failed. Now they're blaming the success of Skyrim for it. Uh, before it was MMOs that were that World of Warcraft, there was World of Warcraft super fans who would never, EverQuest, we get it, who would never leave that game. And then all of a sudden games like Skyrim and other open worlds games really hit their stride with enough content to get past the tipping point of you can almost play it forever. And so that became the big trend that hit the games industry. As you can see, Dark Souls and Elden Ring became secondary trends of let's make third-person action combat really hard. And so that trend lined, all of a sudden, every game needed 40 plus hours of content and depth, progression systems, and survival crafted because Minecraft became super popular and all that. Now we're blaming Minecraft. We have so many games now in our libraries that we can return to forever and ever. And then there are mammoth successes where you're only engaging with on game It's like Madden, FIFA, Call of Duty, Fortnite, League of Legends, World of Warcraft. And those really big behemoths like Skyrim, that has happened. And I think it's going to be a long time before those games leave the market. Well, that may be true, but that's just because you would be adding games. You're not subtracting. How long will Fortnite go on? It could be another 20 to 30 years. Maybe it's forever. Sports have gone on forever. Football, soccer, basketball. It's been a long time since someone introduced a new team sport, Quidditch, you son of a bitch, that has huge mainstream. Yeah, maybe in our lifetimes, still talking about Fortnite. Finishes off saying the game industry as a whole is gigantic. It's more than anyone can comprehend, and it's everywhere across the entire planet. So when we're talking about the games industry, we're usually talking about some segment of games industry for a particular market. Oftentimes, that's a AAA market in North America and Europe. That is where most of the fan discourse happens. But an inordinate amount of playtime and money is spent in, say, the middle mobile market, blah, 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 where the conversation. Yeah, okay. This sounds like he's just salty people didn't play his game, and he's conflating that and saying that, oh, people are just playing older games. But if your game was good, we'd be playing that for the long hours. Cyberpunk 2077 is fixed, and you can sink hundreds of hours, and that would develop far after Far Cry and Fallout and Skyrim and all the other things. So yeah, make better games, and we'll be playing it for hundreds of hours, and evergreen, as he calls it. Either way, did anyone watching this actually play Starfield? Did you even beat it once, let alone twice? I'm kind of retarded. Either way, let me know what you think about all this. Do you want shorter games or do you want longer games if said games are good? And are you like me? Would you be pissed if you paid full price for a game and it was under 30 hours? Let me know what you think. Either way, make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you.
Well, bye.